Please be sure to subscribe to the channel to update the fastest and most accurate news. Hello everyone, welcome back to my Royal Life News channel. The story for today is Donald Trump has bragged that the Queen had never had such a good time than when he was sitting next to him at a state banquet, but experts today suggested he was living in a fantasy world. Mr. Trump said the 96-year-old monarch was laughing and smiling throughout the event at Buckingham Palace in June 2019, which he attended with his wife, Melania, and his older children. The ex-US president, who was speaking to Piers Morgan for his new show, said he had a great time at the event. He continued, "And I sat next to her and we talked the whole night, and somebody said, we've never seen her smile so much. We had a great time, she was laughing and smiling, they said they've never seen her have such a good time at a state dinner. You know, normally they're a little boring, okay, this wasn't boring." Analyzing this image, Ms. James said, "When we see the Queen walking ahead of the group, her face is no longer visible to Trump and her expression changes dramatically. Her raised shoulders hint at impatience, her lips are tense and her eyes appear to be glaring." He continued, "Her task was to make him feel at ease and he obviously did. He enjoyed both visits, which was important for Britain. This was largely due to the way the Queen handled things. It would be fascinating to know what she thought of him, but we never will." Meanwhile, Judy James said a closer assessment of the monarch's body language would have seen Mr. Trump take a different view of their relationship. She told Mail Online, "During the banquet we can see several signals of agreeability, like the way both heads are tilted towards one another to suggest co-conspirators, and the Queen's smile does look convincing, although the subtle accuse are less convincing. Firstly, she is not using eye contact here even though Trump is using an intense eye gaze as he speaks. Then there is what appears to be muscle tension in her upper lip, which is stretched and tight-looking, hinting at an overheld smile. There is crinkling around her outer eye to create a convincing eye smile, but although her cheeks are slightly rounded, they aren't raised in the kind of apple cheek shape that usually defines genuine laughter. When we see the Queen walking ahead of the group, her face is no longer visible to Trump and her expression changes dramatically. Her raised shoulders hint at impatience, her lips are tense and her eyes appear to be glaring. Like Melania, the Queen might have adopted a looking at Trump face and a looking away face, with what appears to be quite a dramatic difference between the two expressions." Elsewhere in the Talk TV interview, Mr. Trump blasted Prince Harry's terrible choice to miss his grandfather Prince Philip's memorial service and said the Duke of Sussex is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen. Pictured, Mr. Trump and the Queen together before the banquet. Donald Jr. is shown behind Prince Charles and Prince Michael of Kent can be seen standing in the background. The ex-US president said it was the worst decision Harry had made, blasted him for being so disrespectful and an embarrassment, and urged the Queen to strip the Duke and his wife Meghan Markle of all their royal titles. Mr. Trump added that the Queen should ban Harry from even visiting her in Britain and tell him, frankly, don't come around. He also said Harry had been led down a path and that he wondered whether the Duke, who stepped down as a senior royal in early 2020 with his American wife, would go back on his hands and knees and say please. That is all for today news. Please make sure to leave your comment and subscribe the channel below for more news update. Thank you for watching.